Hi everyone, welcome back to Conversations with KAILEY. I am so excited for this week's conversation because we are really talking about some deep stuff, and that is unhealthy relationships. And when we're talking about unhealthy relationships for this week's video, it's going to be more of an unhealthy relationship with a significant other. But of course, unhealthy relationships can come in many other forms, such as unhealthy relationships and friendships. I feel like I've said unhealthy relationships a million times already in this video, but I think that it is just really important that somebody talks about, how big of an issue this is. A lot of teenagers, a lot of college students don't really know the warning signs of an unhealthy relationship, especially in today's society. In today's time, we're being told that, to be constantly checked up on, or to have to check in with somebody, or, to be very overbearing, or to be very overprotective, or really possessive and jealous is, it's a good thing. That means they care about me. But a lot of those times, those things are not normal and are not healthy, and that is what I'm here to talk to you guys about today. I just think that it's really important to get this message out there and to give you guys a little bit of background, a little bit of insight if maybe you're questioning whether you're in a healthy relationship or not. So, according to loveisrespect.com, which is a really great resource to utilize as well, nearly 1 in 5 million high school students nationwide experience physical abuse from a dating partner in a single year. Yikes. Going on, loveisrespect.org gives further statistics saying 1 in 3 adolescents in the U.S. is a victim of physical, sexual, emotional, or verbal abuse from a dating partner, a figure that far exceeds rates of other types of youth in violence. It's really, really scary. Nearly half of dating college women report experience violent and abusive dating behaviors. College students are not equipped to deal with dating abuse, say it's difficult to identify, and say that they don't know how to help someone who's experiencing it. And that would be about 57% of all college students. 50% of all college students, which is a really startling statistic. So 1 in 3 go on to say that dating college students have given a dating partner their computer, online access, email, or social network passwords, and these students are more likely to experience digital dating abuse, and 1 in 6 college women have been sexually abused in a dating relationship. So I think it's really important to, catch warning signs early on, and to also get informed, because a lot of the issue is that we're not informed, and there's really not a lot of awareness for unhealthy relationships. Well, there is, but it's not being talked about as much as it should be. So going on about the lack of awareness, only 33% of teens who were in a violent relationship ever told anybody about the abuse. About 81% of parents believe teen dating violence is not an issue, or admit they don't know if it is an issue. Though 82% of parents feel confident that they could recognize the signs if their child was experiencing dating abuse, a majority of parents could not correctly identify all the warning signs of abuse. So that is why we are going to go ahead and jump into this video, so that way you guys can get some information about what an unhealthy relationship is, what the warning signs are, how to get yourself out, and also how to promote healthy relationships within your life. In this week's conversation, I sat down with Jennifer, Tristan, and Marissa Gonzalez from the Rape Crisis Center here in San Antonio. We talked about unhealthy relationships and sexual assault, and what sexual assault will be coming soon, so stay tuned for that video. But each of these topics were divided into 2 separate videos, so there's going to be a part 1 of this video and a part 2 of this video. So make sure you come back next week for part 2. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the conversation. So could you guys tell me a little bit about your background and a little bit more about the Rape Crisis Center here in San Antonio?
Sure, yeah, I'll go first. Right now I'm the Director of Education and Training here at the Rape Crisis Center, and I've been here for almost 5 years. I went to school and got a degree in psychology and then a master's in social work, and decided that I wanted to do violence prevention work, working in the community, working with youth and families, and found myself in a really good fit here at the Rape Crisis Center doing education and prevention around sexual violence.
Mm-hmm. That's really amazing. Yeah, I know, personally, I always thought about doing communication, broadcast journalism in college, but now doing this project, I'm just find a passion for helping other people and doing community type work. So I'm actually now considering maybe doing kind of your path, going the psychology route, and then master's in social work, which is what my mom did. So I think
Very nice.
that's really an amazing thing.
Well, I work here for a couple of years now, and I love it. I'm a public education coordinator, and that involves doing presentations in groups with youth, middle school, high school, even college, university students, as well as some presentations and education for parents and community. And I got interested in the Big Crisis Center a few years back when I just stumbled upon, the job posting, and it just seemed like it really fit who I am and what I stand for. I've been involved in the community since high school. I started volunteering in the community, getting involved with different community organizations, just trying to find my niche and where I stood, and find out more about life and the world and society and what goes on. And it's always been a passion of mine, just human rights as well as including women's rights and things like that. So it's just always been something I've been interested in, and I just could not work in like a corporate office or something. It just got under my skin. And I was like, that's not me. So luckily I found the Big Crisis Center, and I really like this education component of it. So.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the same way about the whole corporate office setting. I don't think I would do very well there. I would go crazy. What does an unhealthy relationship look like? I know a lot of people have their own kind of ideas or own versions of what that might look like, but what really is an unhealthy relationship?
So an unhealthy relationship can be unhealthy in many ways, right? Because violence takes many forms. There's the emotional, mental abuse, which a lot of people think of unhealthy or violent relationships as like someone hitting somebody, which is also true, but it also involves somebody, being very strict with somebody, telling them what to wear, checking on them constantly, being very controlling and manipulative in various ways, whether that's in person, on the phone, over the internet, checking somebody's Facebook constantly, stalking in various ways, even though you might be in a relationship, but like constantly wanting that hold on somebody. When somebody feels like they're being like suffocated in a relationship, they're probably in an unhealthy relationship. Do you want to talk about
Yeah, and so I think some of those are like with the physical, like these traditional ideas of what violence looks like and what violence looks like in a relationship. If somebody has a black eye because their partner hit them, things like that. And now we see those types of violence and the coercion and things being acted out in different ways, and through technology a lot. So through social media, with the use of cell phones and having smartphones, when your partner wants to have access in your login information and your password to your accounts, or is dictating who you're friends with, and if you have to delete all these people from your account when you start dating them, or again with the checking in, if they're constantly texting or asking you to send pictures of where you're at because they either don't trust or believe what you're saying, or they don't feel comfortable with you out with other people when they're not there. So all those little things that sometimes, especially as technology is more pervasive in our society, can seem normal to some people, as like that's just what happens in relationships, and like once I start dating this person, I'm gonna have to get rid of all these friends, or I'm not gonna be able to like somebody's picture on Instagram, and there are all these unwritten rules that are very closely tied to what look like controlling or manipulative behaviors, that outside of the technology piece would look like emotional or verbal abuse or some sort of control factor in the relationship. But now we kind of put that into context with the way that they interact with their phones and text, email, social media. it's sort of normalized in a way, and part of our work is to say these things are still unhealthy. This is still not. These still aren't healthy behaviors in a relationship. You shouldn't expect, like, oh, once I get in a relationship, then I have to change all the ways that I interact with my friends or people that I like or people from my past, just because now I'm, partnered up with this person or something.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting because I know, with the media and I guess our society, I feel like, even myself included, a lot of times when we think of unhealthy relationships, we think of like, maybe physical abuse or things like that, but that's really eye-opening to see so many of those common things you could see in different relationships that is kind of normalized nowadays, so that's really, really eye-opening. So are there any really big warning signs or any like specific things maybe that people should just watch out for that can kind of be something to them to know that they are in an unhealthy relationship?
I think there's always that feeling that you get, that gut feeling like something's not right here. I think people should pay attention to that. If people are doing very subtle things, maybe it starts by like they embarrass you in front of your friends or something as small as that, right, can lead to other things. If they're like okay with embarrassing you, like out of the fun of it, then that's pretty much a power play right there. And them just trying to gain power in little ways, through media, through physically in front of you, around your friends. I think little red flags like that should come up. Maybe asking them what they were like in their past relationships, or if you've heard, or met somebody like comes to you like, I've been in an abusive relationship with this person was abusive, that might be a big red flag. If they tell you, are constantly showering with you, like you with gifts or something, like, and telling you I love you right away or something like that, that might also be a red flag because it's like they need to have something, they need to control something, they want to own something.
Yeah, and I think part of that, for somebody who is maybe feels like something's not right with this relationship, and they're the one in that relationship, I think those are good, looking for those red flags. And also maybe even just asking themselves, like, why am I doing this? Like, is it for me? Or is it for somebody else? Or is it because my friends are telling me that I have to stay with this person? Or, and I think sometimes, especially when we're younger, we're not always thinking about what's best for us, like what we want out of a relationship, what we deserve or should expect. And we're sort of following other people's cues. And sometimes it's helpful to stop and think about, like, what do I really want? What, am I doing this because it's making me happy, because I'm having fun? Or, is it because it's for somebody else's enjoyment or pleasure? Or, and trying to gauge for yourself in those situations, is this something that I'm doing for me, or has it turned into something that I'm not enjoying so much, and it's really for some unhealthy reasons that we're staying in this relationship?
Definitely. I know, especially being a teenager, or any age, but I feel like even more so as a teenager, a lot of times you put so much emphasis around relationships, and it's either like a make or break thing, Of course, you want to be with someone, you want to like have that like emotional connection with someone. So I think sometimes also it might be a little bit difficult to kind of, kind of see where your relationship is if you're in it, and kind of blindsided from the emotions and everything like that. That was just a lot of information, a lot of really great information that I really have never been told before. I really love the way they put everything into perspective, and they're just really amazing people in general. They really make me want to do things like they do and just help people and, work with great organizations like they do. So I'm really thankful that they were willing to collaborate with me in this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will be sure to be seeing you guys next week for part 2. Stay tuned.